I've grown up in horse racing my whole life. When I found out that I was being sent to cover Breeders' Cup for Woodbine this year, I was, well, words can't really describe how excited I was. The first thought that went through my mind was, wow, I'm going to get to see Zenyatta with my own eyes. I couldn't believe my luck. In the racing world, horses like Zenyatta don't come around every day. She truly is a shining star in our industry, and I had obviously followed her career closely, as most of us in the business did. This horse won 19 races in a row. 19 in a row! She is a horse that one only dreams of owning. Even just being at Churchill Downs was enough for me. Ever since I was a little girl, I watched the Kentucky Derby and dreamed of having a horse one day that would be good enough to enter the race, and win it, of course. Every morning that Zenyatta came out to train was crazy. The media surrounding her was unbelievable. Cameras were going off left, right, and center. People were lined up along the rails just to catch a glimpse of her. She definitely was the rock star of Breeders' Cup. The highlight of my Breeders' Cup experience came on one gorgeous morning that I will never forget. First of all, you have to understand that Zenyatta had about 10 sheriffs guarding her at all times. They would walk her to and from the track in the morning. They would be there while she grazed, and they would even stay and guard her at night. When she would be out on the lawn grazing, fans would line up along the fence to take pictures of her and to just watch her. She was a celebrity. Not only is she beautiful, but there was something magical about just being in her presence. And the best part about it was, you could just tell that she loved the limelight. Because Sandy Hawley is the man, and our media department kicks ass at Woodbine, my camera operator Tammy and I were allowed past the barriers to get some shots of her. At one point, I saw a girl getting a picture with John Sheriffs and Zenyatta. I decided that it was now or never, and I mustered up the courage to ask for a picture with her as well. Wow, what a moment. My heart was beating out of my chest. I couldn't believe how lucky I was again. Not only did I get to go to Breeders' Cup, but here I am meeting the greatest horse in horse racing. Saturday, November 6, 2010. The big day had arrived. Tammy and I lucked out huge and scored trackside access bibs, which would allow us to literally stand on the track during the races. As you can see in some of these photos, we were over the moon happy. The shots we were getting, the energy of the day, and being amongst the crowd was just electrifying. I remember at times wanting to pinch myself to see if this was all real. When it came time for the classic, you could feel the vibe at Churchill shift. The big moment had come. When Zenyatta made her way to and from the paddock, people were cheering and screaming at the top of their lungs. Security and her handlers were asking people to keep it down because the noise was starting to make her nervous. When she stepped onto the racetrack, the whole place just lost it. I will never forget what it sounded like being there. As I stared up at the grandstand, all I could see in the twilight were thousands of camera flashes going off, one right after the other. I remember feeling so nervous when I saw the field loading into the gate, and then they were off. The feeling of 74,000 hearts dropping at the same time is something that I cannot put into words. When the numbers went up and the winner was Blaine, I was so sad for Zenyatta. When she came back to get her saddle off, the crowd cheered her, and rightly so. After the race, the media went back to wait for the connections to do a press conference. Seeing Mike Smith up on stage beside himself was enough to make anybody cry. At one point, he got so choked up while talking, he went silent. Something came over me, and I felt like I had to say something. In a dead, quiet press room, and in a shaky voice, I yelled out, "It's okay, Mike. She's still amazing." And he smiled.